You trusted someone completely. They knew exactly where your soul was soft, and they used that knowledge to destroy you. The modern world offers therapy and self-help for betrayal. Cut them off. Focus on yourself. Don't let them live rent-free in your head. All useful advice. But it misses the deeper wound. Betrayal isn't just about what they did. It's about what their actions reveal about reality itself. If someone you trusted completely could become someone you don't recognize at all, what does that say about your ability to read people? To know who is safe? The oldest Christian writers understood something our culture has forgotten. Betrayal is a spiritual crisis, not just an emotional one. It attacks the very foundation of how we relate to other human beings. Even my close friend, in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted his heel against me. Psalm 41:9. David wrote this about betrayal that cut to the bone. The person who shared your table, who knew your vulnerabilities, who turned that intimacy into a weapon. The phrase "lifted his heel" suggests a kick delivered while you're already down. Jesus quoted these exact words the night Judas betrayed him. John 13:18. The Son of God himself faced the particular agony of being destroyed by someone he had chosen to love. John Chrysostom knew betrayal from the inside. Born around 349 in Antioch, he became one of the most gifted preachers in Christian history. His eloquence earned him the nickname Golden Mouth. But it was his integrity that made him enemies. As Archbishop of Constantinople, he was beloved by ordinary people for his fearless preaching against corruption. He sold the episcopal palace's expensive furnishings to feed the poor. He confronted even Empress Eudoxia about her excesses. The people adored him. The establishment wanted him gone. The very church officials who had elevated him orchestrated his downfall. They held a mock trial where his own colleagues twisted his sermons and accused him of heresy. They used his pastoral relationships against him, claiming his reforms were attacks on church unity. Men who had eaten at his table voted for his exile. These weren't strangers. These were his closest advisors, bishops he had mentored, clergy who had sought his counsel in their own dark moments. But listen to what he wrote during his first exile. No one can harm the person who does not injure himself. Even if the whole world were to kindle a fire, they could not harm the person who chooses not to be disturbed. Chrysostom wasn't preaching toxic positivity. He understood the anatomy of betrayal. The betrayer can destroy your circumstances, your reputation, even your life, but they cannot touch what he called the inner citadel of your soul unless you hand them the keys. In his letters from exile, he wrote to his friend Olympias, "When we are maligned, we must not be upset, but rather examine ourselves to see if the accusations are true. If they are false, we should not be troubled, but should feel sorry for those who make them, for they are injuring themselves more than us." Notice what he's doing. He's not minimizing the pain or pretending betrayal doesn't wound. He's redirecting the focus from the external injury to the internal choice. The question isn't whether you've been wronged. The question is whether you'll let their betrayal transform you into someone you don't want to be. When they brought him back from his first exile, the same pattern repeated. The political winds had shifted, but the hearts of his enemies had not. They exiled him again, this time to a remote location in Armenia. The journey killed him. He died in 407, far from home, betrayed by the institution he had served faithfully for decades. But even facing death, he wrote, "The bee, even though it finds itself among many flowers that are foul-smelling, does not lose its nature, but flies away to those that are fragrant." You don't have to pretend the foul-smelling flowers don't exist, but you don't have to forget that fragrant ones exist either. Chrysostom understood that the greatest victory a betrayer can achieve isn't destroying your external life. It's making you stop trusting altogether, making you cynical, making you hard where you used to be soft, making you into someone who looks at every relationship through the lens of suspicion. I want to be careful here about what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. This isn't about rushing to forgive or pretending the betrayal doesn't matter. This isn't about staying in toxic relationships or ignoring red flags. This isn't about spiritual bypassing or pretending that boundaries are unloving. What Chrysostom understood is that betrayal creates a crossroads. You can let it make you wise, or you can let it make you bitter. There's a difference. Wisdom means learning to see people more clearly, setting better boundaries, protecting yourself intelligently. It means understanding that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. It means recognizing patterns before they become disasters. Bitterness means deciding that trust itself is foolish, that everyone is probably lying, that vulnerability is always weakness. It means letting one person's failure to love you properly convince you that love itself is naive. The person who betrayed you has already chosen who they want to be. They've revealed their character. They've shown you that they're willing to use intimacy as a weapon when it serves their purposes. That information is valuable. Use it. But the question Chrysostom forces us to face is this: who do you want to be in response? Do you want to become someone who assumes the worst about everyone? Someone who never risks being hurt again? Or someone who can hold both truth and hope at the same time? Someone who can be both wise and soft. They can take everything from you except your capacity to choose your response. They can destroy your circumstances. They can damage your reputation. They can even end your life. But they cannot make you into someone you don't choose to become. That choice remains yours. The betrayer has already revealed who they are. Now you get to choose who you are. Your soul is still your own.